Well, everybody, welcome back to the West Ham Network. West Ham beating Crystal Palace 2-0 away from home. And that is a way to get off the mark for the season. What a way to get 3 points off the mark, especially at Crystal Palace, a team we've been struggling against. 2 goals thanks to Tommy Soucek and Jarrod Bowen. Tommy Soucek, I think the whole game, I was sitting there and I was just saying, it's time for him to come off. It's time for him to come off. It's time for him to come off. But stepping up, giving us the goods, scoring a goal, always running in late to the box, making that difference there. That's where he really does come into his own. And then Jarrod Bowen, thanks to the substitutions, really, because Wan-Bissaka's run, as soon as he came on off the bench, made such a difference in going forward and gave Bowen that freedom to be able to put that ball into the back of the net. He had a lot of work to do as well, but it was just great. I mean, sorry, that was a Kilman run. I mean, Max Kilman, man of the match for me today. What a absolute baller he is. What an absolute baller he is. Now, interestingly for you, I said to you earlier in the start of the game, West Ham had high possession stats. The whole game, we actually had 41% possession to Crystal Palace's 59% possession. But we had 18 shots with only 18 shots, with only a couple of them on target to Crystal Palace's ones on shots. But do you know what? This game was really a game that made the changes really changed the game. The changes really did absolutely change the game himself. But Max Kilman was a standout performer for West Ham today. He played the full game. He made 6 clearances. He had 3 interceptions, winning most of his tackles. He won 75% of his ground duels. He won 100% of his aerial duels. He was fouled a couple of times. He had 75 touches. Are you ready for this one? 90% pass accuracy. 2 key passes in the game. He was accurate with over 60% of his long balls today. And he was successful 100% with his dribble attempts. Max Kilman, man of the match by a million miles. I was quite judgmental of Konstantinos Mavropanos in the first half. I felt like he gave the ball away, but I think he made up for his performance today. And in actual fact, when you look at his stats, he actually performed reasonably well. And I think most of that came in the second half. But I think most of that came in the second half, in particular, when we made the substitutions and we brought Wan-Bissaka on. That really made a big change to West Ham's defence. He made 6 clearances, 3 block shots, 4 interceptions. He was dribbled past once. He won nearly all of his ground duels. He won 100% of his aerial duels. He did lose possession 13 times, which I found to be difficult. He was successful 77% of his accurate passes, so compared to 90% from Max Kilman. In that dangerous area, he wasn't accurate with only accurate with 2 from 8 attempts at long balls as well. So I think there's definitely room for improvement. The player probably really struggled the most, where Crystal Palace is targeted the most, was Vladimir Coufal, playing 63 minutes, losing possession 11 times, wasn't massively successful on his passes moving forwards. His crosses, never attempted any dribble attempts. So I think he struggled, but the difference really was when Wan-Bissaka came on the field. He made a very quick impact for West Ham, playing 28 minutes. He made 1 clearance, 1 interceptions. He won a third of his duels attempted. He had 15 touches. Accurate passes was 40%. He was successful with 100% of his long balls and successful with 100% of his dribble attempts as well. I thought Lucas Paqueta looked so hungry the whole game. He was phenomenal in that whole game. He drove at their defence. He drove at their attack. I think in terms of West Ham's midfield, he controlled the tempo of what was going on. I think we started well for the first 10-15 minutes, and if you looked at the stats in the 17 minutes into the game, it was all West Ham. Crystal Palace flipped it on its head. They came into the attack. We should have had a goal earlier on due to Antonio at the back post. Glancing header, just not even getting anywhere near on target where he should have got it on target. So a bit disappointing there. But at the end of the day, we've walked away with 3 points, and I think it was a kind of definitely a better second half by West Ham as a whole picture. I think Crystal Palace cottoned on to what we were doing in the first half and then switched it up. And in the second half, we then switched it up ourselves and managed to kind of counter what they are what they were doing tactically and keeping everyone at bay. Eze at bay, Mateta. I mean, you know what? I've got a lot of time for Mateta. I think he's a quality player. I think he's a striker West Ham we could really, look at or could have looked at in the past. But I think we've done well defensively to deal with him, and I think you've got Max Kilman to thank for that. Kudus, thought he played well, quiet out on the left-hand side. We know that. I'd like to see him more involved through the middle. I think we'll see some transformations this season over the coming weeks. We've got a massive game coming up against Manchester City as well, but it's just good to get off the mark. It's good to get 3 points off the mark for the season under this new regime under Julen Lopetegui. So keep your comments coming in. Let me know your thoughts. Scores around the doors everywhere else in the Premier League. 2-1 victory for Brighton against Manchester United. Fulham beating Leicester City 2-1. Manchester City beating Ipswich 4-1. Nottingham Forest beating Southampton 1-0. And Spurs beating Everton 4-0 as West Ham jump ahead and get 3 points for the start of the season. Let me jump into the comment. Good to see you. Good to see you as well. Happy you're all buzzing. I never get sucked over. It's funny, isn't it? Same. I wonder if you just need to kind of wait, and then if the video comes up, you need to click on it. Jack Sue says, get in. What a win. Happy, brilliant result. Just what we needed. And a clean sheet, which is huge. Huge for our defence, especially against a team who are a threat at going forward. What a relief. 3 points, clean sheet. Lopez seen the definite that Soufal can't start next week. And I think you're completely right. Wan-Bissaka made such a difference. And if you look, I've seen the goal played back then when Jared Bowen drives forward. And when Souček scores the goal, all made from Wan-Bissaka. And Wan-Bissaka doesn't celebrate, understandably, because he's a local lad as well. But he skips by someone. He travels, 50, 60, 70 yards. He drives into a bit of traffic, nothing on, plays the ball. What a ball that is to Bowen. He's looking for the ball back in return. Bowen drives forward, shot from Paqueta, takes a bit of a deflection. Füllkrug puts it into the path of Souček. Bang, ball, score. Let me see if Will Füllkrug... No, he won't get the assist for that. Kind of takes the deflection off the Palace thing for there. New boys setting up both goals. Balloon, Kilman. What a player. What a player. Man of the match. Only downside actually to some fans, someone actually said they hope they lost. Yeah, probably the start. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's so good. Why did they sell him? Kilman, man of the match. They sold him because it was 50 million quid they got for him. And he changes the game. He does. Obi-Wan, Füllkrug was making some great runs to create space for himself and others. 2 chances he had at the end of the game, and I'm all right with him. Gets him off the mark for having chances at goal, and that's what he needs. Kilman was brilliant. He was. I see Füllkrug had a fantastic game, pretty much clean through by Bowen, blast it wide. You're all right, Luce Abuser. I'm a happy hammer, Lofty. Just need to accept some fans are mental and extremely negative. Mav played well. Give Mavos a chance. Listen, I'm skeptical. I think his stats read well. First half, I was very skeptical. He definitely grew into the game in the second half. The biggest issue for me was down the full-back position at right-back. Vladimir Soufal definitely struggled. I thought Rodriguez had a better game. Than what people are scoring him as well. 56 touches, 78% pass accuracy. He won 50% of his ground duels from 10 attempts. He won 50% of his aerial duels from 2 attempts. He was successful with his dribble, 100% dribbles. He did lose possession 11 times. He was fouled twice. He made 1 clearance, 3 interceptions, 2 successful tackles in the game. Budgie, good to see you, my friend. Not great for 70 minutes, but stunning substitutions. Plays Souček in his proper position, and look what happens from Gary Page. Kilman brought the ball out so many times. Excellent performance. My God, man, the coverage, the drives forward that he made, he looks so comfortable on the ball. Really comfortable on the ball. Could be a shrewd piece of business by West Ham. Although, not shrewd. 40 million quid, a lot of money. Aaron Wan-Bissaka played great, but just doesn't look happy. I think what you've got with Aaron Wan-Bissaka is that he's played his boyhood club. So he is happy, but he's not happy that he's got beat. He's not celebrated, and it's understandable. And I hope the young ball boy for Crystal Palace is okay, because when Souček scored, the fans had broken the barrier, and the barrier went and collapsed on top of the boy. He was standing, he was breathing, he was okay. He was getting taken away to get checked over, but I really do hope he is okay. And yes, Callum Marshall did bang in the winner for Huddersfield Town today. West Ham player currently on loan to Huddersfield Town. What a difference a week makes. You can say that again. That is West Ham. Here's one for you. Ready for this one? That was our first clean sheet in the league since Brighton on January the 2nd. wow, since January the 2nd. Kilman was class. If we can get solid defence, top 6 as ours, we can only get better. Wan-Bissaka was the difference. He freed up Bowen from support Sefal 100%. We did this before a couple of seasons ago. We played Everton and Bowen had to track back and cover for Sefal. The only thing I'll say about Sefal is when you underestimate him, he starts to bounce back and he understands what he needs to do that's wrong. But I don't think he's going to be West Ham's starting fullback. He'll get chances, he'll get opportunities, but it has to be Wan-Bissaka for the next game. Lobby can't start our next game with Sefal and Antonio. Bowen did nothing and Wan-Bissaka came on. I was wrong about Pack having a good game, but happy with the win. I thought Pack had a very good game. I thought he was probably our best midfielder defensively, creatively. He won 100% of his ground duels, 7 from 7. He won 50% of his aerial duels. He only lost possession 12 times, but as a player who plays like that, that's expected. He had 3 shots off target. He made 2 clearances, 1 interception, 5 successful tackles in the game. And I thought he played well. I really did. Aaron Wan-Bissaka allows Bowen to shine. Good for Marshall to get on the score sheet. After the sub, we started to play. Great win. Dino and Max were solid. Dino looking like he's staying. Rodgers was all right. If we get a decent striker, we would be very dangerous. So played Alvarez is back. The thing is with this comment is, I think if we play, we've got players there. And I think if we play Kudus through central, put Somerville out wide, I think Füllkrug will. I think if we get service, then you can be lethal. But I thought Kudus had a good game, but wasn't his best game. But it's not really his fault. He wasn't involved. So please, Alvarez is back. Yeah, really good to come in. Wow, what a difference. And look at the strength and depth West Ham have got now. Good win now. Time to build on it from Hammers Paul. Guido is one of the players that needs time to adjust and has to be thrown in due to Alvarez injury time given. Absolutely. If Wan-Bissaka was on from the start, would Dinos have had a better first half? Possibly. Yeah, he gave the ball away a couple of times in the first half. He grew into the game in the second half. But they targeted that area, and once they realised they couldn't target, watch as soon as we make that substitution, they hardly go down that area where Wan-Bissaka is because they're not getting successful. Kilman, man of the match, 100%. Pack shut down Wharton second half. He did. Kilman has upped his game along with Rodriguez, and Wan-Bissaka was a perfect sub at the perfect time. So yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, West Ham are walking away with the 3 points, and it was a solid performance. Definitely a change in the way that we're playing. West Ham are currently sitting 7th on 3 points, but we've still got 5 of the teams in the top 10 still to play a game over the weekend. But it's good just to get off the mark. It's good just to be there. It's good to have those 3 points off from the start, because the last thing you want to do is be sitting in the bottom half early doors. It doesn't give you that confidence. And I think at the end of the day, we get the win over the line. We get Lopetegui off the mark. That's exactly what was needed. We are massive. Thomas Souček, first half average. At best, second half, different game. Completely agree with you. A game of 2 halves. I think apart from the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I thought West Ham played really well. In the first 15 minutes. Well, good. Not amazing. But then we lost control of the game and allowed Crystal Palace to come into it. Eze, of course, hitting the bar, but Antonio did have a clear-cut chance as well. But the second half, we flipped it round. Alvarez has always been key in our team. You can say that again. So, a couple of questions I want to ask you is, who's your man of the match? Put your man of the match in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on man of the match right now. Who was your man of the match, and who was your worst player for West Ham, and changes would you make moving forward for the next game based upon the starting 11 today? Where does Souček fit into this team? Hats off, Souček, not a fan. I want to see Paqueta drop for Somerville and Kudus in the middle. It's an interesting one. I honestly thought Paqueta had a very good game today. Dino and Max were solid. Dino looking like he's staying. I'm again, first half, don't think he was, but hey ho. Kilman, man of the match for you. Man of the match, Kilman. Kilman, man of the match from you. Mavropanos, not from me. Kilman, man of the match. Vlad Worst fell off the cliff. He really has. Kilman was 1,000,000% man of the match. Happy Amaret says, man of the match, Kilman. Feels wrong to give it to Wan-Bissaka for the short time he was on. To be honest with you, though, Happy, I mean, I don't think you can take that away from Kilman. He had a very, very good game, and his game was due to his forward his ability to move the ball out of our defence. He took West Ham, he drove West Ham forward on several occasions. He looks extremely comfortable on the ball. He's a very good tackle of the ball. He's got pace, he's got strength. But what I really liked about him was moving the ball forward for West Ham fast, getting ourselves out of danger fast and pushing forward fast. Mate, Kilman is so good. He is. Lots of positives still to gel. And that's the thing. This team is still to gel. So it's great to get off the mark against Crystal Palace, but there's lots to learn from this game. That's the key element. I'm not walking away going, oh my God, we're going to go and win the league. We're going to go and do this. But the confidence comes in the fact that we've got 3 points playing all right. And I think there's more to come. There is absolutely more to come. But we have learned a couple of things. We've learned that Antonio can't start the next game. He can't. That needs to flip now. That needs to flip now. Füllkrug needs that opportunity to start from the off, because Antonio hasn't offered anything in the 2 games that he's played. I would rather Antonio come on as the impact sub at the end. And again, when you do doubt these players, they do tend to bounce back and prove something as well. Kilman man of the match all day. Paquetá was the worst. I don't see that. I don't honestly see that. I mean, if I look at all over the websites now, Paquetá scored the highest in our midfield from any other of our midfielders, even on top of Jared Bowen and Kudus, and I do agree with that. Kilman man of the match, Sefal gets picked on. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the answer to match change. Yes, Spinner also, who said that Aaron Wan-Bissaka couldn't forward. I know. King Thomas, man of the match, and Kilman was a close second. Sefal was the weakest link. Bowen got man of the match, but I think Kilman was for sure. Absolutely was man of the match, to be fair. Moment of the match, Anton definitely everyone, so I do apologise for that. A win, we needed that. Soler and Duran in, please. I mean, could you imagine? I can't see Aston Villa remotely considering parting ways with them. Let me just have a look and see who they've actually started. So they haven't started Duran, which I find interesting. Let me just make sure he's on the bench. He is on the bench for Aston Villa. A lot of people were thinking that they may have started him for Aston Villa today, but he's not in a match. Kilman, then Bowen, then Pack. Bowen did nothing for 55 minutes, but he's still a top geezer. He is, mate, and I love the fact he's pointing to his captain's armband. The board starting lineup could be tasty. Now, Pack played well. Bowen came to life when Aaron Wan-Bissaka came on. He did, because he didn't have to track back and cover all the areas of problems that we were having back there, and they were targeting Sefal all game. Hero of the match, Souček scoring a goal and saving a life. That's what I said, Nate. I said it. He scored a goal. He got us off the mark. Saved the little boy's life. And he genuinely did. Like that I felt really sorry for that little boy. Like, that would have been really sore, and there was a lot of people. He was getting crushed. He was sincerely getting crushed. Very, very dangerous. I mean, there is actually an image, right? Let me just show you this quickly. Hold on a minute. Let me just show you. Let me just show you this one. Let me just show you this. Let me just show you this, right? This is how dangerous that could have been. And there needs to be some investigation into this from Crystal Palace, because that is not good to have someone sitting in front of that. It's not the fans' fault. It's not. For anyone to turn around and say that's the fans' fault, it's not. It's the structure that they've got in the stadium that doesn't hold the situation. But look at the little boy just above the comment that says scoring a goal. But look at the amount of adult bodies on top of that. And once you're down, you ain't controlling that. Fair play to Tommy Souček. Honestly, fair play. Maybe he gets man of the match because of turning that all around, you know. Maybe he does. Pack played well, played better second half, man of the match, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because the game changed the result of his introduction, but Kilman was excellent. When watching a different game, I thought Paquetá was shite, didn't do anything positive going forward, lost the ball loads, trying to do too much. Let me just... It's always good to have different opinions, of course, isn't it, my friend? Right, let me just read you out. I know it's not all about stats. I think I'm more talking about his all-round game as a whole, but I thought he actually had a very, very good game. 76% pass accuracy, successful with 50% of his long balls attempted. So that was 8 attempts and 4 he was successful with. He was successful with 100% of his dribbles, which was 2 in the whole game. He had 3 shots off target. He won 100% of his ground duels, which was 7 out of 7. He won 50% of his aerial duels, which was 1 from 2. He did lose the ball 12 times. He was fouled once. He made 2 clearances. He had 5 successful tackles in this game as well. I just thought it was all-round play. Aaron Wan-Bissaka was a beast, great lead up to the goal. Kilman worth every penny now that he's replaced Moyes with Moyes. What a load of bullshit. Bless him. Aaron Wan-Bissaka did more 30 minutes than Soufal did in his whole career. Kilman and Mav. I just think Kilman and Todibo. I think it's going to be interesting to see Todibo's introduction and how that's brought in. Mike says poorest players are Soufal and Antonio. You can see that again. There you go, everyone. You go and enjoy your Saturday evening. You all go and enjoy match of the day because you deserve it. We deserve it as West Ham fans. I'm absolutely buzzing to get off the mark. I really, really am. And do you know what? It was a bit edgy at times, but at the end of the day, we done the job. We got the job done. We got the 3 points. We played well. We played well at times. We played well in different areas. But thought the game made a big difference on having our substitutions. Wan-Bissaka making a big difference. Exciting times though in terms of Füllkrug gets 2 chances. Obviously doesn't put them in the back of the net, but he gets 2 chances. And I think that's good for someone that comes off as a sub as a striker. And Wan-Bissaka, such an improvement. You can say that again. Let's see that here. So just if someone has just joined me, that was our first clean sheet in the league since Brighton game on January the 2nd. The 2nd, absolutely. So listen, I'm going to head. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you have enjoyed hopefully you think it's wonderful content. If you are new around here, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the thumbs up. Please leave a comment. Thank you for watching. West Ham will come away with 3 points at Selhurst Park. And join us as we'll bring you some more content your way, all related to the Crystal Palace game. Come on, you Irons. Much love. Come on, you Irons.